one man, Inter's second highest foreign goal scorer in Serie A history, the top scorer ever in the Champions League. They don't call him El Toro for nothing. Lautaro Martínez has seriously leveled up over the past few years. Like, this guy isn't just good, he's up there with the elite. We're talking Lewandowski, Mbappe, Haaland territory. He's been tearing it up for Inter Milan, scoring goals like it's second nature, and when he puts on that Argentina shirt, he's just as deadly. World Cup, Copa America, you name it, he's helped them win it. But here's the thing, Lautaro didn't just wake up one day as a world-class striker. So how did he do it? How did a kid from Bahía Blanca, who once dreamed of just making it pro, end up becoming one of the most feared forwards on the planet?
Because I think he's that fantastic and he's still young and there's still room for improvement. And he's strong physically and he can hold the ball up. He can do anything.
You see, Lautaro Martínez came into this world on August 22nd, 1997, in a rough little city in Argentina called Bahía Blanca. It wasn't glamorous, it wasn't rich, but it was home. And even though there wasn't a lot going on there, one thing was clear. Lautaro was built for football. His pops used to be a pro, so yeah, it was in his DNA. But hold up, it wasn't always football first for him. This boy loved basketball too. So at some point, he had to make that choice. Hit the hardwood or chase goals. And when it came to it, the ball with the stitches won. From the time he was just a kid, Lautaro was lacing up for his small local team called Liniers. For 8 straight years, he was out there grinding. And even at the under-17 level, he was cooking defenders. 13 goals in the league and 1 more in the final of the National Cup. Yeah, they lost that final, but trust me, everybody saw what Lautaro could do. Now, here's where it gets real. While he was making noise with Liniers, Lautaro was out there trying to level up. He hit tryouts for some of the biggest clubs in the country, Boca Juniors, you name it. But when he showed up, they looked at him and said, nah, too weak, too slow. They told him to come back when he bulked up and got quicker. Imagine being 15, chasing your dream, and getting hit with that kind of rejection. Lautaro walked away crushed, mad, disappointed, questioning if this was really his path. But the story doesn't end there. So one day, Lautaro and his Liniers club are out training with another team, Bahía. Racing Club scouts happen to be there, just peeping the scene. They weren't even there for him at first, but once Lautaro hit the pitch, everything changed. One of the coaches, Fabio Radelli, started watching closely. He saw something special. He kept following Lautaro for a few more games, and then in January 2014, Racing signed him. But let's not act like the road got easy. As soon as Lautaro touched down at Racing, he ran into competition. Another young baller, Brian Mancilla, was already holding it down at striker. Both of them were 16, both fighting for that same spot. But Mancilla could feel it. Lautaro was coming for his throne. And the thing is, Lautaro wasn't even settled yet. He was homesick. He missed everything. His family, his people, his city. It got so bad, the boy was ready to pack up and bounce. Mancilla could have let him go, could have taken that spot and ran with it. But instead, he stepped to Lautaro and dropped some real talk. And that moment right there, that flipped everything. He lit up the reserve league. 64 games, 53 goals. That's video game numbers. Europe started calling. Big names like Real Madrid even had a deal ready in 2015. But Lautaro said no. He hadn't even played for the first team yet, and his dad told him to wait it out. Now, November 2015 rolled around, and this was the moment everything started for Lautaro Martínez. The kid finally got his debut, and it's not just any regular sub-in. Nah, he came on for Diego Militao. Yeah, that Diego Militao, like being handed the keys to the kingdom. Talk about a full circle moment. But hold up, it isn't like Lautaro just blew up overnight. That 2015-16 season, he was glued to the bench. Only 6 games and barely over an hour of total playtime. You blink and you might have missed his whole season. But he stayed patient, stayed ready. Then came the 2016-17 season, and finally, the door cracked open. Their main striker went down with an injury, and Racing had no choice but to give Lautaro a shot. And what did he do? He didn't waste a second. He scored his first goal in a 1-1 draw that November and never looked back. He ended the season with 9 goals and 1 assist in 23 games, but that was just the beginning. Around the same time, he got called up for Argentina's under-20 squad. First stop, the 2017 South American Championship. Then Lautaro showed out. 9 games, 5 goals. Then came the Under-20 World Cup. Argentina flopped and didn't even make it out the group stage. But Lautaro? He only started 1 game, won, and dropped a brace on Guinea. You already know what happens when a young striker starts cooking like that. Europe starts circling, and this time it was Atletico Madrid on the hunt. Word on the street was that Lautaro had already done a medical. Papers were practically signed. Everybody thought it was a done deal. Then, boom! Plot twist. Lautaro hits the reverse card and signs a new deal with Racing Club instead. Raised that buyout clause real high. Racing was fuming, saying Atletico did the medical without permission, and just like that, the whole thing fell apart. Then we hit the 2017-18 season, and this is when Lautaro turns into a problem. In the Copa Libertadores, he wasn't just playing, he was owning the stage. 6 group stage games, 5 goals, and 3 of those all in one night. A hat-trick in his Libertadores debut against Cruzeiro. And don't get me even started on his league form, Lautaro was on fire. In just 21 league games, the guy banged in 13 goals and served up 5 assists. That's nearly a goal or assist every single match. Fast forward, and he's now sitting on 18 goals and 5 assists in 28 appearances. Then Europe came calling again. But this time, it was Inter Milan doing the knocking. Racing wanted to keep him on loan for 6 more months to finish the Libertadores, but Inter wasn't having it. They dropped 22 million euros, locked in a 5-year deal, and handed him the number 10 shirt the second he touched down. Lautaro Martínez finally made his Inter Milan debut in August, and it felt like the beginning of something big. He got the start, all eyes on him, and then Inter lost 1-0 to Sassuolo. Yeah, not ideal, but it happens, right? The real problem? After that game, he basically disappeared. The coach had him on ice. 5 straight matches, and Lautaro only got 1 minute. 1 against Torino. You wait your whole life to play at that level and get tossed on for 60 seconds? That's wild. But Lautaro didn't fold. He stayed ready, and when he finally got his chance again, boom.
Across, he whips it in, and a header, and Lautaro Martínez!
First goal in a 2-0 win over Cagliari. You could see it all over his face. Relief, fire, hunger. That goal meant everything. He didn't do much in the Champions League that season, but in the Europa League, he made sure to leave his mark. His first European goal came in a 1-0 win against Rapid Vienna. Then came the real opening. Mauro Icardi, Inter's main man, got hurt. That's when Lautaro's name got called for real, and he stepped up, took that spot, and never gave it back. Icardi, he's out in Turkey now. Lautaro, he's still holding it down in Milan. That switch right there, that was the shift. He ended that season with 9 goals and 2 assists in 35 games. Now, it doesn't sound crazy, right? But don't forget, he barely played the first half of the year. Those numbers came with limited chances. He wasn't even fully unleashed yet. And that was just the warm-up. Then came the 2019-20 season, and Lautaro flipped the script. This time, he was the guy, especially in the Champions League. After a quiet first match against Slavia Prague, he snapped. He was doing damage on the biggest stage, and everyone was watching now. In the Europa League, he waited until the semi-final to go nuclear. Inter versus Shakhtar. Big stakes. Lautaro drops 2 goals, adds an assist, and league alone. So yeah, Lautaro didn't always grab the headlines, but on the pitch, he was still that guy, playing a huge part in Inter's first league title in 11 years. Now, when it came to international duty, that was a whole different story. Lautaro showed up big time for Argentina. In the 2022 World Cup qualifiers, he bagged 7 goals in 14 games, basically a goal every other match. And don't even get me started on the 2021 Copa América. That was his first real shot at a big tournament with the national team, and he made it count. Argentina took home the trophy. Messi finally got his moment. The curse? Broken. And Lautaro, he was right in the middle of it all, a key part of the squad that made it happen. Now, the 2021-22 season was where Lautaro Martínez really said, "Hey world, I'm that guy." Because in the first half of that season, dude was on fire. It felt like every game, Lautaro scored. 9 goals before the halfway point, just casually tearing it up. At one point, he was easily one of the most informed strikers on the planet. But hey, even fire cools down eventually. Second half of the season, yeah, not quite the same buzz. He still kept scoring in Serie A, don't get me wrong, but in the Champions League, well, he kind of ghosted. Just 1 goal the entire tournament. And yeah, it was a rocket against Liverpool, but still not enough to carry Inter through. They got knocked out, and that was that. Now, don't let that fool you. Lautaro was cooking everywhere else. In the league, 21 goals, 3 assists. Then came the Finalissima against Italy. Scored one and set up another. He wrapped up the season with 25 goals and 4 assists in 49 games. No question, this guy was climbing the world striker ranks fast. And then the 2022-23 season, that was his glow up. Let's talk World Cup real quick. It wasn't his best moment. He missed a few chances, lost his starting spot to Julian Alvarez, but it came to that quarterfinal shootout against the Netherlands. Lautaro stepped up. That goal sent Argentina through, ice in his veins. Back with Inter, he turned into a straight-up menace. The Supercoppa Italiana scored in the final against AC Milan. Inter won 3-0. Coppa Italian final, 2 goals against Fiorentina. Inter lifted another trophy. And then, the Champions League run. This was a Lautaro show. The final didn't go their way. City were too good and Rodri hit a worldie. But Lautaro's season, ridiculous. 28 goals, 11 assists in 57 games. Dude was unstoppable. But alright, let's be real. 2023-24, it wasn't bad. It just wasn't quite the fireworks we saw the year before. He still racked up 27 goals and 7 assists in 44 games. That's elite by most standards. But this is Lautaro. We expect elite. But wait, just when you think he's down, bam! Copa América 2024 happens and Lautaro turns into an absolute killer for Argentina. Now keep in mind, he wasn't even a regular starter for Argentina. Scaloni went with Julian Alvarez, so Lautaro spent most of the tournament riding the bench. He only started 2 games, and in one of them, he didn't even finish. But did he sulk? Not at all. He showed up. 5 goals in the tournament. 5 off the bench. That tied in with Messi and Riquelme for the most goals by an Argentine in the Copa since 2000. And that goal against Colombia in the final? It snapped Colombia's long unbeaten run and sealed Argentina's 3rd straight title. We're now deep into the 2024-25 season, and Lautaro Martínez is still balling. He's already smashed in over 15 goals. Now sure, for Lautaro, that might not sound like earth-shattering numbers, but come on, he's setting the pace, leading from the front, and doing way more than just banging in goals. Because here's the thing, Lautaro isn't just some tap-in merchant hanging around the box. Nah, he's out there hustling, pressing defenders, making smart runs, linking up play, chasing down every loose ball. That kind of work rate, you don't see it in every striker. That's why fans can't help but love the guy. He's already stamped his name in Inter Milan's legendary striker club, no question. And don't forget, he finished 7th in the Ballon d'Or rankings. 7th. And let's be honest, a lot of us were sitting here thinking, hold up, why isn't he higher? The guy has been putting in work all year. So now the big question, can Lautaro actually win the Ballon d'Or one day? Look, with the way he's playing, and considering how few world-class strikers are rising lately, I'm not ruling anything out. He's got the goals, he's got the grind, and he's got that it factor. If he keeps this up, yeah, that golden ball might just have his name on it sooner than we think. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe to Matchday Moments, and let us know what you think in the comments below.